Welcoming respected Dr. Pradip Bhattacharya. In the Sahitya Akademi we have a convention. Instead of a bouquet with flowers, we give books. So let me welcome with some of our publications.
Thank you.
Respected Dr. Pradip Bhattacharya, all the writers and scholars who are assembled here, and friends. I am glad to welcome all of you for this edition of People and Books. This platform was established in 1989 to provide opportunities for the scholars who are not purely writers but who excel in other walks of life. The first lecture under this platform was delivered by none other than Dr. Jaiminiya Mahabharata, eminent scientist. And since then, Sahitya Akademi has invited about 100 distinguished scholars from different fields to deliver the abiding literary value. And some of these scholars, to name a few, Mrinalini Sarabhai, E.M.S. Nambudripal, L.M. Singhvi, Dilip Padgaonkar, Soumitra Chattopadhyay, Suchitra Mitra, Chintamani, Sriram Lagu, Madhu Dandavate, B.P. Singh, Karan Singh, Vasant Sathe, Salil Chaudhary, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Adur Gopal Krishnan, Anil Shah, Sitaram Yechuri, Arun Kopkar, Lalit Man Singh, and Soli Saurabhji. In this series, we are privileged to have with us today Dr. Pradip Bhattacharya. And Dr. Bhattacharya, an Indian Administrative Service officer, he has a PhD in comparative literature for his research on the Mahabharata, and is India's only international HRD fellow awarded by Manchester University and the Institute of Training and Development UK, and an MD in homeopathy. And he has authored and edited 30 books and published numerous articles in India and abroad on public administration, comparative mythology, Mahabharata, homeopathy, management and human values. And he has been the regional editor East for the Mahabharata Encyclopedia project of the Mahabharata Samshodhana Pratishthan, Bengaluru, and he lectured extensively in India and abroad, and recently delivered the prestigious K.K. Handy Memorial Lecture at the Asiatic Society, Kolkata. And he has been the West Bengal State Government's nominee on the Board of Governors, Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata, for over 15 years, and is on the editorial board of its Journal of Human Values. He is also the member of the governing body of the Rabindra Bhavan Center for Human Values, set up by Ambuja Realty in May 2011 to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Rabindra Bhavan. And he initiated a regional Mahabharata documentation project by the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, New Delhi, under Ministry of Culture. And with these few words, once again I welcome Dr. Bhattacharya, and he will deliver a lecture on Jaiminiya Mahabharata today. So, without much wasting of your time, I once again welcome Dr. Bhattacharya to deliver the lecture.
I would prefer to talk standing. Thank you very much, Dr. Srinivas Rao. Am I audible to everyone? Thank you. So first of all, let me make it quite clear that I am nowhere in that list of names which you heard, nowhere near at all. Primarily being a bureaucrat disqualifies me in the beginning. But luckily, Ved Vyasji has saved me so that I am standing before you. Being a great admirer of the and spellbound by the Mahakavya and the Pancham Ved for over 50 years now, I cannot begin without doing the mandatory Mangalachara. So it is best we start that way. Narayanan Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim. Now here I pause because Jaimini changed what Vyasa himself wrote. This second line of the shloka goes, Devim Saraswatim Jaiva Tato Jaya Virya. Jaimini, paying obeisance to his guru, said, Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Virya. Now, why Jaimini? Next, please. Can someone, or shall I go there? Next slide.
Next slide.
This is the book which has been published. Next. So, Vyasa, we are told in the Adi Parva, teaches Mahabharata to Shuka, Sumantu, Jaimini, Kaila and Vaishampayana. Shuka is his son. The other four are his disciples. And interestingly enough, he says, publish your own recensions. Each of you go, like Christ telling his apostles, go and spread the word. Exactly the same thing. Now, only Vaishampayan's recital of Vyasa's Mahabharata in his own presence to his great-grandson Janmeja is available to us in full. And of one of his pupils, Jaimini, we have only the Ashwamedh Parva complete. Next slide, please. This is the Ashwamedh Parva, translated into English for the first time by Major General Shekhar Kumar Sen of the Indian Army, close colleague of mine. It has never been English before, and you will be happy to know that we Indians have beaten the Finland scholar Petteri Koski-Kallio, who has been working on it for 20 years. We took 3 years, and we have published the entire Jaiminiya Mahabharata, line by line, translated shloka by shloka, with a very learned introduction. Next. Link with Vyasa I have given you, first in the invocation itself. The second link we notice is when you read the two texts, which is Mairavan Charitam, the story of Mairavan, and Sahasramukha Ravana Charitam, also called Sita Vijay. In both, Hanuman and Sita use mantra-infused grass to consume the devils. This is a unique thing. So what is the link with Vyasa? If you look at the Udyog Parva, there is a story of the arrogant king Dambodh, who attacks Nara Narayana, of course instigated by Narad, who encourages him, go and fight. So he attacks them, and Narayana picks up Ishika, grass, and infuses them with a mantra and destroys the army. The grass becomes Ferozshah. So you have a similar thing which Jaimini takes the idea of grass and uses it in both of his texts. Next. Ashwamedh Parva tells us at the end, O Lord of the people, Vishampate, I have narrated 14 Parvas. Now, O King, listen to the Parva named Ashramavasa. So, there is something going to come after. And 14 Parvas have gone before. Where are they? Lost. But, in my opinion, not lost. Because after the Ashwamedh Parva was published and I was researching it, I discovered in Chennai, in the Tamil Nadu government's Oriental Manuscripts Library, fragments of palm leaf manuscripts which said they belong to Jaimini Mahabharata. So, there are more manuscripts. No one has bothered to look. They are just lying there. And when they are microfilmed and put in the IGNCA or the National Mission for Manuscripts, no one else knows. So what is the point? If you are finding manuscripts, the catalogue should be available in the public domain so that people who are interested in research can pick up and start bringing to light these so-called lost treasures of our past. Now, Jaimini's Sahasramukha Ravana Charita begins with Janmejaya's queries following the return of Sita and her sons to Ram. So you see, how is Ramayana coming into Mahabharata? Because Janmejaya is asking Jaimini, how did this happen? And why is he asking? Because when Jaimini is relating the Ashwamedh Parva to Janmejaya, and he finishes the story of Arjun being killed by Bhavan, he just mentions, you know, in the ancient past, there was a similar battle between son and father. So this is how our narrators instigate. So Jaiminiya immediately eagerly says, who are? He says, Love and Kush fought their father, Ram. So the entire Love Kush episode is narrated in Ashwamedh Parva, not in Vyas, in Jain. And here, after that Love Kush, Jaiminiya asks, then what happened to Sita? Why was Ram so, why was he glorifying Sita? Now comes the story of Sita Vijay. Now one reason why Jaimini's Ashwamedh Parva is very important is this. Can you tell me what is the first version of the Mahabharata or retelling of the Mahabharata in a foreign language? In a foreign language. Any foreign language. Any idea? Okay. Arabic. 1026. Abu Saleh writes an instruction to princes, which is a retelling of the Pandava-Kaurava battle based in Sindh. Remember, first invasion of India by the Arabs is at Sindh. This is where Abu Saleh gets the story and narrates it, and there is no Krishna. So here we have an invaluable document of 1026 AD, which we have not researched, where there is a Krishna-less Mahabharata. Now that will lead to a lot of investigation. When does Krishna first appear? No one has bothered. There is the second translation in a foreign language. Who is it by? Come on. Any ideas? Any hearsay? Yes? Anyone who would like to hazard a guess? Not German. Fezi is, yes, what language? Very good. Excellent. So, this is 1590. Akbar, who is now supposed to have lost the battle to Rana Pratap, as I learned recently, at Haldighati. He lost it. Akbar in 1590 gives a statement recorded by Barauni where he tells his courtiers, if you want to understand the people of Hindustan, you have to read and know Ramayana and Mahabharata. And to that effect, because his courtiers are Persian, he commands a translation into Persian of both great works. Now, what is peculiar, where is the link with Jaimini? People think Akbar was illiterate. I don't know who started this rumor, from where it has come. If he was illiterate, how does Barauni tell us that first Akbar organized a group of 6 scholars from north, east and south? So he knew there are at least 3 recensions of Mahabharata. Every day they would sit and parva by parva explain to Barauni from the Sanskrit. Barauni would write it in Persian and read it out to the emperor. He writes, I almost lost my job the other day. The emperor was furious. He shouted at me and said, how dare you import your bigoted ideas into the Mahabharata? So Akbar was illiterate. Look at the sort of trash we put in our history books. An illiterate person who knows about Mahabharata so well, he challenges his own courtier that you are an Islamic bigot. You can't introduce this into Mahabharata. So, why Jaimini? When Akbar comes to the Ashwamedha Parva, he drops Vyasa. It's fascinating. He takes Jaimini. How do I know this? I can't, because the Razmanama, Akbar's own copy, is lying locked up in the museum in Jaipur. No scholar has had access to it since independence. And our government or no one is bothered. that Akbar's own copy, which is a folio, so you have, it's that big, with illuminated pictures drawn in gold and silver ink, Luckily, some of those were copies, and the British Museum has some of the manuscripts, those pictures. So I got them from the British Museum. The moment I saw them, I realized this is nowhere in Vyasa. So when I was doing the Ashwamedha Parva, I realized these are depicting scenes from the Ashwamedha Parva. So the entire Ashwamedha Parva of Rasnama is genuine. Which means, at that time, 1590, it is quite possible other Parvas were also available, but no one has looked for them. This is the tragedy. Manuscripts are still lying in families. For example, Tankar was told by Franklin Edgerton, who was editing the Sabha Parva of the critical edition in Pune, that he personally saw a complete rolled up, a complete roll of manuscript of all the 18 Parvas, a single roll. And he said, for heaven's sake, get hold of it and let us study. That wasn't done. And till date, it has not been done. 50 years have gone. So this shows how deeply we are committed to our heritage. Lot of talk, no action. Next, please. So I've already told you Ashwamedha Parva, how we located this, thanks to Professor Satya Chaitanya. Next. Now, Mairavan Charitam is a problem to me because it is an independent work and it says in the colophon, it says, this is from the Jaiminiya Mahabharata. Doesn't say any Parva. So it's just floating there. The Lavakusha manuscript we did not take up, though we found there, because in the Ashwamedha Parva we had covered it. There is a Setu Mahatyam manuscript from the Aranya Parva, that is the Vana Parva. But it has only 4 chapters, so we did not include it. There is a Harivansha Parva claiming to be part of the Jaiminiya Mahabharata. This has to be studied, because Harivansha is the appendix to the Mahabharata. There are 2 manuscripts, including entitled Sita Vijay, part of the Vasishthottara Ramayana, about Sita slaying the 100-headed, not 1,000, 100-headed Ravan, and another manuscript called Shatamukha Ravana Charitam, which were also not collated as they do not belong to the Jaiminiya Mahabharata. So we restricted ourselves to the Jaiminiya Mahabharata. Next. Now you can see the condition of the palm leaf manuscript. Please take a look. This is the condition. So how do you recover from this is very, very difficult. Next. This is the other, the Sahasramukha Ravana Charitam. Both are written in Grantha script. Next. So who is this Jaimini and what is his likely period? There is Sutta, not Sauti. Vaishampayan has the Sutta's name Sauti. There is no name given here. He addresses an audience of ascetics, presumably Shaunak and his community of sages in Naimisharanya. The Sutta says, O bulls among ascetics, I have described to you all that Jaimini had told the son of Parikshit, the spelling of the name of Janmejaya's father, Parikshit, not Parikshit, provides a clue, as this spelling occurs first in the Bhagavata Puran, 8th to 10th century. 8. It means to look around, while the Mahabharata version means remnant of a ruined family. So this difference in spelling gives a clue. Next. Mairavana Charitam refers to the 6-syllable mantra, Ram Ramaya Namah, found in the Rama Rahasya Upanishad of the 17th century AD. The appeal to Hanuman as an adept in the Vedas and its links and Shastras is paralleled by Tulsidas, also 17th century, in a Vinaya Patrika. There is also a Sitopanishad celebrating Sita as Shakti, but we do not know what period it belongs to. Next. Now, is it the same Jaimini as the famous Purva Mimamsa author? I would prefer to lay it aside. It's a completely different genre. The language and style of Mairavan and Sita Vijay are completely different from the Ashwamedha Parva of Jaiminiya. These are pedestrian, devoid of alankar and rasa. The Ashwamedha's flamboyant poetry full of conceits is missing. For example, some extracts. Nandi could not seize Garuda, as an angry elephant cannot seize cotton wool in a courtyard. Armor destroyed Sita's son stood on the battlefield like a newly sloughed king of serpents. Rama's glowing iron arrows were as useless as a poor man's desires in a miser's home. Next. Hyperbole is the sole common feature. Hanuman builds a rampart with his tail, of which neither end can be seen. He throws a Rakshasa up to the sphere of the moon and down on the ground. In a moment, a shower of 10 crore trees fell upon him. In Sita Vijay, 100 crores of them burnt by fire died. With one strike, he felled hundreds and thousands of chariot, elephant, horse and foot warriors. Seeing crores of Danavas then hanging from his 5 mouths, the gods cheered. Sahasramukh Ravana produces 10,000 sons from one wife. Hanuman slays thousands with his tail. One missile produces lakhs of different weapons. In both texts, Sita and Hanuman use mantrik grass to consume demons. Next. Stylistic differences. The abandon with which a Jaimini of the Ashwamedha exaggerates outrageously is absent. Here we have no people growing on trees, something you will find in Megasthenes also, Indica. Horses do not turn into mares and then into tigresses. There is no Rakshasi with 8-mile-long breasts which she uses as weapons. In the Ashwamedha, Jaimini effectively uses all the 9 rasas. In Sita Vijay and Mairavan, only Veera, Adbhuta and Bhayanaka with a sprinkling of Raudra are seen. Adbhuta is primary. Next. There is no variety in these. The Ashwamedha has numerous sub-stories. Even in the main plot there is variety. Not so here. The battle sequences are monotonous. The characters change, the sequences are the same. They read more like a war correspondent's report than literature. Next. Dialogue is in profusion and in variety in Ashwamedha Parva. Here, only martial talk and occasional laud. Art of conversation of Ashwamedha so well used, not evident here. Next. Bhakti. Ashwamedha is basically Vaishnava Bhakti, glorifying Krishna. Everyone wants to fight Krishna because they want to be killed by him. This is Dvesha Bhakti. Salvation is in fighting Krishna. And he of course loses because the Bhagavan must lose to the Bhakta. But in Mairavan and Sita Vijay there is loyalty, no Bhakti. Mairavan is dedicated to Ram and Sita Vijay to Krishna, with paeans to Hanuman and Sita at the end. How can an author so immersed in Vaishnava Bhakti in Ashwamedha be completely bereft of it and extol Hanuman and Shakti in the 2 others? Next. Shaivism. The cause of what happens in Sahasramukha Ravana Charita is the insult to Shiva's avatar Durvasa at Mandhata's yajna. It parallels the insult to Shiva at Daksha's sacrifice and its destruction by Veerabhadra and Kali. Parallel to Veerabhadra and Kali, we have here the pair of Hanuman and the shadow Sita. The names of Durvasa's sons occur among the 1,000 names of Shiva recited in the Moksha Dharma Parva. Their dreadful, destructive nature is of a piece with other demons originating from Shiva, Andhaka, Jalandhara, Bhasmasura. Hanuman is a product of Shiva's sperm and is given 5 heads like him by Sita. Those of lion, horse and boar are of Vishnu's avatars and his mount Garuda. So Hanuman becomes a Harihara image. Next. In both texts, the names of the characters take different forms at different places. Matangi suddenly becomes Sita. Pushpramukha becomes Poshtamukha. Vakranasa becomes Vakranetra, etc. The diligence with which Ashwamedha was created is missing. However, these could be copyists' errors. Conclusion, it is unlikely that the author of Ashwamedha Parva is the author of Mairavan and Sita Vijay. They are not of the same class. though they might belong to the same Jaimini school. Next. Were there many Jaiminis? Vyasa is said to have rejected his disciples' versions, except Jaimini's Ashwamedh Parva, possibly because they were not up to the mark. Sridhara's Marathi Pandava Pratapa, 17th century, says Jaimini was rebuked by Vyasa for adding his own matter to the original. There is another legend that the other versions were so good, so interesting, that Vyasa got jealous and got them all burnt. So like many Vyasas, there might be many Jaiminis. Next. Do Mayuravan and Sita Vijaya have the author? So I have concluded that Ashwamedha author and these two author is not the same. But these two, are they by the same person? The language and the style appear to be similar. Both texts share some common features. Ram and Lakshmana are abducted in Mayuravan when asleep. So are Bharat and Shatrughna in Sita Vijaya. In both, mantra-infused grass is used as a missile, and the supernatural prowess of Hanuman is celebrated in both. Interesting difference in the colophons raises a doubt. In Mayuravan, colophon is Shri Jaimini Bharat, no mention of the Parva. Colophon of Sita Vijaya, Ashrama Vasa Parva of Jaiminiya Mahabharata. This is a distinct difference. Unlikely that the same author composing two stories would use different names in the colophons for the principal work of which these are parts. Next. So Bharata and Mahabharata. Colophons say Bharata and Mahabharata. Vyasa first composed the Bharata of 24,000 shlokas without the fringe episodes. Originally, the Bharata without the fringe episodes consisted of 24,000 shlokas. This, to the learned, is the real epic. Is Jaimini's Mayuravan Charita part of his version of the Bharata? But then, is it not a fringe episode? Vyasa expanded the Mahabharata later to a Mahabharata of 60 lakh shlokas, of which 1 lakh are known in the human world. The use of the epithet Maha before Bharat in the Sita Vijaya is interesting. It is part of Jaimini's retelling of the Ram story, not during the forest exile as in Vaishampayan, where the narrator is Markandeya, but when Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Kunti are living in the forest before their death. That is the Ashramvas. Possibilities. We have a manuscript number 3814 which is called Jaimini Ramayana. It might provide an interesting comparison. However, it has only 2 circles and one is incomplete. The colophon indicates these cantos are devoted to celebrating the glory of the name Ram. Jaimini Bhagavad and Jaimini Puran manuscripts exist that need to be studied. Next. Parallels. Now this is very interesting. Tribes have versions of both stories. The Chota Nagpur Mundas believe Vanaras were forest-dwelling tribes who wore part of their dhoti trailing loose as a tail, as the Mundas and Shavaras still do on their dancing grounds. Both tales occur in Sanskrit, Marathi, Gujarati, Malayalam, Tamil. In Tamil, there are 2 versions. One is called Mayil, which means peacock. The other is called Mai, which is Collidian. Telugu, here it changes to Mahi, birth for the first time, and travels up the coast to Orissa and Bengal. Both places and Assam, all 3 it is Mahi. In Orissa, Hanuman crushes the Devi's head. Also in Ramayana retellings and plays in Southeast Asian countries, in Tulsidas, he has only Abhirama, not Mahira. They are not found in the Rama tales of Sri Lanka, Tibet, Bhutan, Mongolia, China, Japan, and Vietnam, also called Champa. Braja literature gives us a very interesting tale. Sita becomes Kali Mai, Mother Kali in Calcutta. So Kalivar is really Sita Mai. Balaram Bandhopadhyay's Bengali Ramayana says, Hanuman took Mahiravan's Yogadhya Devi to Kshiragram in Bengal to be worshipped. So we have 2 Bengal connections. Sanskrit parallels. Ramayana and Adbhut Ramayana and Anand Ramayana, both belonging to the 15th century, and the 17th century Tattva Sangraha Ramayana are very different from Jaimini. In Jaimini, he narrates to Jaiminiya. And as we have seen, Jaiminiya knows of the Lava Kusha defeating Ram, his uncles, and Hanuman. In reply, Jaimini mentions Sita's birth occurred because of Durvasa's wrath. So this is a new myth of Sita's birth. Jaiminiya asks for details. It leads to the horrifying tale of how Sita slew the 1,000-headed demon. However, at the very end, there is someone else, nameless, who is narrating what Jaimini narrated to Jaiminiya. It is a nameless sutta. Next. Sahasramukh Ravan has 50 chapters. The cause of the birth of the demons is the insults given by Trinity to Anasuya and to Durvasa in Manghata's sacrifice. Bharat and Shatrughan are abducted, married off without any demur to the demons' daughters who are Apsaras sent by Brahma. You will remember in the Ramayana contained in the Mahabharata, Manthara is also an Apsara sent by Brahma, so that the God's work is done and Ram is exiled. In the battle, Devas, monkeys, Rakshasas, Kshatriya kings, the Ramis, Ram and even the Trinity fall. Next. Then Sita takes the field in an awful form, bestowing 5 heads on Hanuman, with which it devours the demonic army. With mantric fiery grass columns, she consumes the 1,000-headed demon inside out, because no weapons can kill him. She revives her people, Brahma pians her, and she reverts to her mind form. So Rama revived is not terrified as in the other versions, where he prays to her, like Arjun prays to the Vishwarup, that please come back to your mind form. Not so yet. Ram settles Chitradhvaja and Chitraratha, sons of Bharat and Shatrughan, names we do not found in any other version. In Vishala city, Vishala is the city of Sahasramukh Ravan. The Rajas leave Ayodhya praising Sita, interesting cryptic reference, reviling the washerman. So there is a washerman story which is not expanded here. But Sita is not sent into exile here. She is praised because of her deed. So we have a different version. There is no Tyag of Sita in Jaiminiya. And of course not in Tulsidas side. Next. Mairavan Charitam is shorter, 20 chapters. An unidentified audience, perhaps sages, begs a nameless suitor to narrate Hanuman's deeds. This bard as narrator framework is typical not of the Ramayana but of the Mahabharata. The colophon assigns it to Jaimini's Bharat, mentioning no other. The bard states, now notice this, the tale was not related by Rishi Valmiki. Why? He considered that the bringing of the medicinal herbs by Hanuman was heroic enough. No need to have further deeds of Hanuman. But Jaimini takes it up. He says, I will expand on Hanuman's deeds. Who is the narrator? Agastya. He tells it to Ram to celebrate a wondrous nocturnal deed of Hanuman that Ram is unaware of. He rescued Ram and Lakshman, who were both asleep, enchanted, taken by Mairavan to Patal. Next. Sanskrit parallels. Advaita's Ramalingamrita, 1608 in Canto 8. Adhiravan and Mahiravan take Ram Lakshman to the netherworld. Hanuman kills them, helped by his son, Makaradhwaja. So the celibate Brahmachari Bajrambali has a son. In Ramdas's Anand Ramayana, 15th century, the two Ashwini Kumaras are cursed by Vishnu's doorkeepers, Jay and Vijay, and are born as Airavan and Mairavan. And their story is told. The Anand Ramayana incidentally gives Ram 7 sons. Not just 2, 7. Next. Mairavan Charita, there is the differences. There is no Airavan. Ravana tells Mairavan that Ram, enraged with Shurpanaki's amorous advances, cut off her nose, not Lakshman. Mairavan reaches Ram and Lakshman by assuming the form of Vibhishana, casts them into an enchanted sleep, carries them off in a magical box. They remain asleep throughout. They have nothing to do. Entry to the underworld is via a lotus stalk known to Vibhishan. Hanuman's son by the Makari Tiningila is named Matsya Raja, not Makaradhvaja, who guards the entrance to Mairavan's kingdom. He cannot be defeated. Hanuman uses mantric sacred grass to consume the devil. Though killed 100 times, Mairavana keeps resurrecting. His life lies in the 7 horns of a 7-headed beast, which Hanuman kills and then pulverizes. Next. Praying to Bhadragali, the Devi, Hanuman obtains the chest with the brothers still asleep within, returns at sunrise on the 14th day. His helper here is Mairavan's sister Durdandi, not a Ram Bhakt serpent princess who wants to marry Ram and blackmails Hanuman into agreeing to this. Durdandi's son Nilme is crowned king of Pada and marries Mairavan's daughter Nilakeshi. Hanuman makes his own son Matsya Raja Nilamega's general. The final valedictory verses state that the Ramayana or the Mahabharata must be in every village. Otherwise, an expiatory vow must be observed. Hanuman's 12 names are given as the mantra for success. Next. One would have expected Mahanatakam or Hanuman Natakam, authored by Hanuman himself, to narrate the wondrous exploits of Hanuman, to assist Sita, and to rescue Ram and Lakshmana. Strangely enough, they do not feature in this Sanskrit play. Jayata of Patan, Nepal, wrote a Sanskrit play, Mahiravan Vada Natak, in 1337, possibly the oldest datable version of the story in any language. Javalis and Balini's Wayang plays, numerous Lao, Thai, Indonesian, Burmese and Malaysian versions have the same story. Next. Now, this is a surprise I experienced when I visited Cambodia last year. It was a complete shock. And I found the walls of the Silver Pagoda in Phnom Penh 642 meters long, so over half a kilometer. 3.65 meters high, so that is what? About 12 feet. Are covered with frescoes of Ramayana scenes painted during 1903-04. A huge fresco depicts Mairavan's abduction of Ram and the rescue by Hanuman. Mairavan flies off with the sleeping Ram. There is no sign of Lakshmana. Hanuman enters the temple, breaking its spire, and kills the devil with a sword. At the extreme right are Rama and another Yaksha asleep. Hanuman flies back with the rescued sleeping Ram and deposits him on Mount So Kanchan, watched by 4 goddesses. Next. On the silver screen, Mairavan's story was exceptionally popular for Indian filmmakers. First, Marathi, silent 1922. Then, Tamil, silent 1923. Then, Chandrasena, Mairavan's wife who helps Hanuman, by Shantara, Marathi 1931. He remade it in Marathi, Tamil and Hindi. Mairavan, Telugu 1940-1957. Hanuman Patal Vijay, Hindi 1951, which I saw myself as a child. Again in 1960 by Homi Badi, who also made Chandrasena. We used to have a very nice system those days in the army. My father was in the army. If you like to see, it could be shown again. So Hanuman's tale in Patal Vijay was of extreme fascination to a 5-year-old boy. Especially he encircling the whole camp. So after it was over, I asked, "Till the time." So we saw the tale again. No film has been made about Sita and the 1,000-headed Ravana. In the recent television serial on Star Plus, Siya Ke Ram, 2016, this incident features as episode 256. Next. Here you are. There is a Budbeli painting from the National Museum. Hanuman's tail rampart. You can see how beautiful it is. Fascinating. Ram Lakshman both asleep. Next. Hanuman knocks down Mairavan. Ram and Lakshman just standing by. On the left you will see Chandrasena, etc. looking on. And in front, please know, you have Makara Dwaj with his hands bound behind him, Hanuman's son. And at the right, you have the Rakshasas. Next, Hanuman, this is a bad camera shot from the National Museum. Hanuman beheads Mairavan. No, Ram Lakshman do not kill him. Next. Now, the wall enclosing the silver pagoda, Rama's abduction by Mairavan and rescue by Hanuman is completely different. Just watch. Next. Look at this. This is a Ramayana, the battle. Amazingly beautiful. Look at the size. Next. Now, this is a very damaged fresco thanks to the Pol Pot regime. You have Hanuman at top. Hanuman is always white. He is a white monkey. Breaking the spire of the temple. He drops inside and kills the demon who is green with a sword. On the top left you will see the demon flying off with Ram. Top right extreme, Hanuman flies back with Ram. Next, this is a close, it is another fresco. Who do you think this is? This is Hanuman. No tail rampart here. Inside Hanuman's mouth, he shelters Ram. On the left, you will see a figure that is Mairavan. He is shooting a bright globe into the sky so that people believe it is the sun that has risen and the night is over, danger is gone. On the extreme right, you will see sleeping figures. They have fallen asleep. Hanuman's eyes are closed. He has also fallen asleep. That is when Mairavan enters his mouth and steals Ram. Next. Here is Mairavan taking Ram away in his magical box. Next. Here is a close-up of that temple. Hanuman is breaking the spire and entering. Next. A close-up within. Hanuman, white monkey with Mairavan's own sword killing him. Next. Hanuman flying back with Ram asleep in the magic box. Next. He comes and keeps him on the mountain. Four goddesses watch. Now, you notice an inscription on the rock below the box. It took me 4 months to get this deciphered. It is in ancient Khmer. You will be perhaps not very surprised to hear that we have very famous Indian scholars in Delhi and in Cambodia who all could not answer my reply to my request. They are experts in Southeast Asian literature, ancient literature. None of them could decipher. Finally, the Indian embassy, the bureaucracy came to the rescue, unfortunately, not academia. They went to the university in Phnom Penh, contacted the Department of Ancient History and Languages, who translated this for me and told me the story that is being shown. Now, what is of great sorrow to me is that when I went there and I saw Angkor Wat with the amazing basalt reliefs of Ramayana and Mahabharata, the guides could not tell me which figures are who. And we have made no effort, despite a cultural attaché being full-time there, of helping the Cambodian government to have plaques put up which will tell which is Krishna, which is Ram, which is Arjuna, what is happening, where is Bhishma, etc. Nothing has been done. What is worse, a new temple complex with a 100-armed Veerabhadra has turned up underground at the border with Thailand in North Cambodia. I went to see them. I was very excited seeing the Veerabhadra, 1,000-armed. And I asked eagerly, is the Archaeological Survey of India engaged here? They said, no, it's the Chinese government. This is the sort of thing that we lose our own heritage, which is embedded in Southeast Asia, and we are doing nothing to advance our own cause. But that is by the way, orbital data. Next. Now here is the only picture I could find of Sita killing the 1,000-headed Ravana. Next. Here is a Rajput painting, 18th century, of the Panchmukhi Hanuman. Now look at his forward leg. It is crushing the Devi, because she did not tell him where are Ram and Lakshman. And the leg behind is crushing Maira. And on the top of his head are other heads. And he has many hands. Next, clearer picture. You can see the heads clearly now. Narasimha has become a tiger here, you will find. It's a tiger's head. Horse head, I agree. Boar's head and Garuda. And Hanuman's own. He is standing on a dead body. And because he is a form of the Devi, he has taken on, the Veerabhadra Kali pair is here. And he is multi-armed. So if you have 5 heads, you must have at least 10 hands. That is how the icon is represented from Mandi. Next. That's all. That finishes my talk. I hope I haven't kept you over long. I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. You have given a very new dimension to this particular thing and given a lot of new references and new things which we don't know. I think now we can go open for a question answer session for about some 10-15 minutes. If you have any questions, brief and ask him and you will give the answer to that.
I'm a little familiar with the Greco-Roman ethics, right, which has a particular formulaic pattern that they use in the sense of repeating lines, repeating verses and so on. So at one point you mentioned about the boring repetition, which is there. So I was wondering whether there is any form of a formulaic pattern established in the past or in the contemporary times, which could be related to these things over many generations, over many years.
Very relevant point by Professor Rabindra Bhavan. And I must tell you that I had the good fortune of having him as my student in St. Xavier's College. So now I meet him as a revered professor, and his son is also here. It is delightful, and 2 of my batchmates are here, which is very kind of them. You see, the point is this: epic is characterized by recurring refrains, yes, because it's a mnemonic device, correct. But what is a little irritating is that in these 2 manuscripts, it is very dull. The refrain can be heroic, it can be thrilling, as it is in Ashwamedha Parva of Jaimini. But this Jaimini, though he has the same name, is a very prosaic creature. His poetic genius is not up to the mark. So you get put off. That is the main thing. Otherwise, the technique is the same, but it's like a poetess instead of a poet.
Yes.
Just press your button there.
I am truly a layman as far as these things are concerned. Actually, we all have read these epics, but I am nowhere in knowledge anywhere. But I have a very general question to ask here. That the normal interpretation that Sita was a devotional story, and that Tyag was Ram Tyag, sort of left her, and she entered the ground. And here what you are explaining is not so. And in fact, she killed that 1,000 at Ravana. So how do we balance these 2 things? The normal, I never knew this aspect which you told me. So I'm surprised how to bring it to common man. So what is correct? Or if both are correct, how we can implement it?
Well, firstly, CK, there is nothing which is correct. Your imagination is true. What is beautiful is true. But the issue is this, that the Uttarkand, you see the Ramayana, where it is told in the Mahabharata, in the Manaparva, it ends with the return to Ayodhya, Ramraj, 11,000 years, finish. The Uttarkand, even the latest translation by the Goldmans, is definitely a later creation. And Uttar Ramcharit and it have much in common. Now, about the Sita's manifestation as Shakti is definitely influenced by the growth of the Shakti cult. Because two Ramayans, the Adbhut Ramayana, narrated by Valmiki separately to Bharadwaj, stored to him, to Bharadwaj. And he said that he says that I did not include this in the Ramayana because these are secret. Puhya Sanvam, but you have asked, so I am telling you. This is the secret of Sita, that she was born because of Durvasa's curse. And in the third birth, first birth is Vedvati. Second birth, she is on a lotus, very lovely baby. Ravan takes her and then is told by rishis that she will be your death. He throws her into the sea and she is washed up in Janaka's fields. How I don't know. Sea is nowhere near there, but there it is. And he plows her up. So third, and not womb born. Those are the two conditions. The other is the Anand Ramayana and the Tattaswangra Ramayana. So three Ramayans dating 15th century and 17th century give us the Shakti manifestation. But Valmiki Ramayana is much before that, at least 1,000 years or 900 years before that, which, as I said, Uttarakhand is not there. So a later development is the Tyag of Sita, a concept which is well developed by Bhavamurti. And still later is the Shakti root of Sita. And you will notice in Braja literature, she lands up in Kaliga, Kalimai, the black form of Sita. Good form returns with Ram. The black form goes to Kaliga, to be worshipped in Bengal.
It's very interesting because in Buddhism also you find this. In Buddhism, you have the Avalokiteshvara, the
auspicious.
Auspicious, and also the more aggressive side of those forms. Both images are complementing each other, right? So that's also good. And the images that you showed here, where the Hanuman looks like, almost like Kali, Sita looks like Kali, with many hands standing on the body, right? So that's very interesting.
So Shiva's roop itself, Shiva means auspicious, beneficent, but he's also Kapardi. And interesting point, in the Moksha Dharma Parva, Krishna tells Arjuna, people don't read the Moksha Dharma Parva, it is very sad. And recently I translated the entire Moksha Dharma Parva into English for the first time. He says, Arjuna, you think you won the war, but Kapardi was walking in front of you, killing with his trishul those whom your arrows later reached. So the word he uses for Shiva is Kapardi. So that is the form you mentioned, the Rudra form. That is the form who gives a soap to Ashwatthama. And he tells Ashwatthama, so far I have protected the Panchalas because I love Vishnu. But now, time has come. Kal is all. Here is a soap. You go and kill them all. Not writing down, yes.
Well, most epics around the world, as far as I know, I've read a few, deal with wars and with migrations, mainly. And in the Greek context, we see that the epic cycle which is there, all of them almost pertain to, and there are hundreds of them, long and short and so on. And Virgil copied that later on in the Roman context, that they are all connected to the Trojan War, right? The epic cycle. entirely, in different ways. Some of them are even comic, some of them are shortened and so on. So it's fairly located and contextualized in the Trojan War, which took place, we believe, around the 1200 BC. And Homer himself wrote, is supposed to have composed it around the 7th century or 8th century BC. So in the question of Mahabharata, what is that context, which is known to us and which is not known to us, the gap between the two?
Are you meaning historicity of Mahabharata?
Well, I mean, what is the significance of the war in terms of things that can be understood in contemporary times?
Well, the Mahabharata is very clear when you study it closely that it is the eternal war between good and evil. The earth is overburdened with evil rulers. The earth goes and approaches Brahma, that I am sinking, save me. Brahma goes to Vishnu. Vishnu says he plucks out 2 hairs, one black, one white. One becomes Krishna, other becomes Balaram. And he says to the gods, all of you send down a part of your sins. I will engineer a war, which will divest the earth of Kshatriyas and lighten its burdens. So good and bad, all will be wiped out. Krishna's entire clan itself is wiped out. And who is the agent of this? A mysterious person. You see, people don't realize. They say, oh, this is highly patriarchal, Mahabharata, terrible. Who is the agent? A woman born out of flames. The moment she appears, Yagyaseni, there is an Akashvani which says, she will be the destruction of the Kshatriyas. Announced. And it is she who brings it all about. No Draupadi, there is no Mahabharata. But the point to tell you the whole thing is philosophically grounded, which is why Vyasa calls it the Pancham Ved, that the entire Vedic concept of evil having to be conquered repeatedly through sacrifice. So the Mahabharata war is like a ritual of sacrifice, which is repeatedly stated. But more interesting, it doesn't end there. You will find this cycle being repeated like the Homeric cycle. During the Rajput epics, you have Rajput oral epics in which the Pandavas get reincarnated. Why? Draupadi tells Krishna, I am not satisfied. I haven't had the blood of the Pandavas. So you have the Alahudal lay coming in, and they are reborn. Draupadi is reborn as Bela, and who have a terrible fight in which all are killed. And she is now happy. Which is why in South India, in the temple of Draupadi Amman in Genji, you have a 14-day Terukutu, which is enacted, where at night, during the 18 days, Draupadi is out foraging at night. He is terrified, seeing her horrifying form as Kali. So these are the traditions, and where do you think they are going? Look at the Bhil Bharat. You will be dumbstruck. Bhil Bharat, one day, Bhim looks into the cottage and finds Yudhishthir is doing pranam to Draupadi. He is furious. He wants to kill Yudhishthir. Why should a husband do pranam to the wife? He goes and complains to Krishna that I am going to kill this chap, even though he is my devil. He has demeaned men. He is the archetypal man. Krishna says, okay, tomorrow is full moon night. You just come in. Come at night under that huge people. So he goes there and he is dumbstruck. He finds Bhagwan. They don't say Vishnu, Bhagwan. Bhagwan has come and is seated on a silver throne under the Vatavriksha or Ashwatha tree, surrounded by a horde of Dakinis, witches. Then he finds his mother Kunti and Draupadi coming up and are seated above Bhagavan on golden thrones, and everyone doing pranam to him. He is totally finished. He goes and does Ashtang pranam and says, please don't kill him. Save him. This is the Bhil tribe's version of the Mahabharata. You see how this is becoming kept relevant, and it's repeatedly enacted annually.
Okay, sir. I think this is not poetry only. I think Draupadi, Jagadasani, Sita, and Rakhi are same form of bondage. Because I used to recite one, Lakshmi si Kamalavatla, Mata Parmatma, Sri Padma Padmakti Padmasuli. Lakshmi, Sita, Gauri, all are same in the Mahabharata or the Ramayana. They are same with the bondage, I think.
You can add to it one more, which has recently been read out in Neeraj's Draupadi Mantran, Mahabharat Mantran by Professor Indrajit Bandyopadhyay. Draupadi is the lost Saraswati.
Sati Saraswati, Sati Saraswati, Gauri, Shanti, Swaha, Swada, Sita, all are the same. We are calling the epics or religious as we use.
There is one says that epics are a process of death. So, in process of death, how the man dies, his parts and where is established, his doors, gradually it grows. It is also interpretations in there. And one more is curing the defects of epics. Rama, all of a sudden he has to go to forest, immediately he becomes poor. Vijayamalia's mother name is Lalita Ramaya. When he used the time of the Rama, he has lost everything. So here, cross together Rama rules in India, we are using the time of the Rama, and time is there, however time is there. So we will all of a sudden we lose everything. So this is what that Kaikeyi is the villain for India. She makes India poor, and it is there is no meaning for that. One Kaju, he said that 90% of the Indians are idiots because we are troubling ourselves. There is no meaning at all. This type of some more things are there. Still we have not realized because of this epics where the thousand head Ravana was killed by Sita. Later there is no meaning at all. Sita was killed by Hanuma. According to this, there is no meaning at all.
No, Sita is not killed by Hanuma.
Devi something.
No, that Devi is the Devi who refuses to tell him where Ram and Lakshmana are. That Devi is worshipped by Majavat. So he kills that Devi. And incidentally, that Devi he finds...
So here supremacy over the male gender conflict is there. Supremacy over... When I am telling that, I will make, according to me, it is there from the beginning, it is there. Since it is ancient, it seems to so strange for us. But as usual, it is contemporary. It is contemporary. In that time, that was the process of death, or that was the way of expression, I think.
Honorable Speaker, Dr. Pradip Bhattacharya, esteemed Secretary, Sahitya Akademi, Dr. K. Srinivas sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On this auspicious occasion, it is indeed a matter of great pleasure for me to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, on behalf of Sahitya Akademi and also on my personal behalf, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to our today's eminent speaker, Dr. Pradip Bhattacharya, under the People and Books program of Sahitya Akademi. We are extremely grateful to you, sir, for sharing your valuable experience and knowledge. It is also a matter of great pleasure for all of us for the gracious presence of the learned scholars from different parts of this city. And we enjoyed today's session with your gracious presence. And sincere thanks to also the head of the department, Productions, and Dr. Rajvanshi, and all the students who have extended their support to organize this event. And for a special announcement that tomorrow on 9th August 2017 at 5 o'clock, we will have a literary forum where Dr. Adina Karasi from New York, she will read on her poems. So all of you are invited to attend the program at the same venue at 5 o'clock. And last but not about the list, we essentially thanks for your presence. And all of you are invited for a cup of tea. Thanks to our